Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror film, House of the Dead, Part 1. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a man named Rudy sharing his horrific experience on an island. He had initially gone there to attend a rave with his friends, but had encountered unearthly terrors there. Two male college friends called Greg and Simon are about to embark on a trip to the island. There arrive Greg's blonde girlfriend Cynthia, curly-haired Alicia, and Karma. The group has a messy hormone ship. Karma has a crush on Simon, but likes Alicia, Rudy's ex-girlfriend. The two had broken up because of their different priorities. The group meets at the dock, where the boat will take them to the island of death. However, they are late and the boat has already left. Meanwhile, the rave is already in full swing. Rudy is mingling and enjoying his newly single status. The group finds a fishing boat anchored at the dock. Simon approaches the boat's first mate and offers him money to take them to the island. The first mate gruffly refuses. The boat's captain steps forward and asks the group where they're going. Simon points to the island of Death's location on the map he's holding. The captain and the first mate become afraid. They refuse to take the group there, but Simon persuades them to say yes by offering a ton of money. Just as they're about to leave, two Marine Patrol officers arrive and declare that they will board the captain's boat. The captain explains to the group that the inspection may delay their departure, so Simon adds even more money for the captain to ditch the inspection. A young couple from the rave breaks away from the party and heads for the beach. The girlfriend undresses and starts skinny dipping, but the boyfriend doesn't join her because he doesn't like his hormones to be frozen by the cold water. The girlfriend wades out into deeper water and calls out for him to join her. Suddenly, bubbles arise from deep below the water and something tugs at the girlfriend's stinky feet. She gets scared and swims back to shore. When she gets there, she sees that her boyfriend is gone. The Marine Patrol officers follow the fishing boat, but they stay hidden, so the captain won't know they're coming after them. On the boat, Greg gets seasick and vomits on Cynthia's chest. She goes to the galley to clean the mess. The first mate approaches her, and at first, she thinks he's peeping on her naked but dirty body. But the first mate offers her a wooden cross and tells her that it will ward off the evil spirits with wild hormones. Cynthia scoffs at his gift and just chalks it up to the first mate being a weird man. The girlfriend continues to search for her boyfriend. She ventures into the woods and comes across a small graveyard and an abandoned house. She goes inside and finds him there vomiting blood. A pair of mottled hands are inside his chest, squeezing out his organs. It turns out the house is filled with undead zombies with glowing red eyes. They crowd around the sexy girlfriend and she screams. Another couple finds a hidden spot in the woods, but before they can hide and seat their hormones, they are also killed by a zombie. The boat arrives at the island. The group eagerly makes their way toward the rave, but the captain and his first mate have a secret plan of their own. They are carrying illegal contraband aboard their vessel, and they need to hide the items quickly before the officers discover them. They decide to bury the items on the island. Alicia holds the map to the site of the rave. She leads her friends through the forest, oblivious to the dangers the forest holds. Back on the shore, the first mate mentions to the captain that a storm is coming. The captain is ecstatic because the storm will derail the officers from coming after them. But the first mate is worried for the group's safety. However, the captain is not as concerned for the group as the first mate is. The group reaches the rave site when it's already dark, but the site is empty and there's no one there. The rest of the group are delighted that they have the island to themselves, but Alicia sees a bloody shirt on the ground and is suspicious about what happened to the rest of the ravers. Alicia decides to explore and find clues as to what happened to the people. Karma and Simon go with her, while Cynthia and Greg opt to stay behind at the site. The first mate hauls a box filled with the contraband items from the boat into the forest. He senses someone scurrying around him, and he gets scared. A while later, a zombie attacks him with its zombified muscles. The captain is irked by the first mate taking too long to bury the items. He senses that something is wrong, so he pulls out his gun. Greg and Cynthia go inside a tent for some private but smelly time. Greg momentarily steps outside and leaves his girlfriend alone. A horde of zombies heads toward the tent. Alicia and the two find the same abandoned house that the girlfriend stumbled into earlier. Lit torches are placed on the ivy-covered walls, so Alicia surmises that there must be someone in there. She opens the door and is attacked by an emo man holding an axe. Thankfully, Simon knocks him down and Alicia is unharmed. Rudy appears, and the group questions why he's attacking people. He answers that he will show them. Emo Man opens his camera and plays the videotape he shot earlier. The party was still raging at this point, and then the zombies suddenly attacked and killed most of the people. Rudy and Emo Man, along with a pigtailed girl, ran into the forest and found the house. They hid there until Alicia and the others stumbled inside. Emo Man thought they were zombies, which was why he almost attacked Alicia with his ass. It's not ass but axe. Alicia doesn't believe that zombies are real. She thinks that this is a stunt pulled by the raid's organizers to kick things up a notch. Simon doesn't care, so he just suggests that they leave the island on the captain's boat and sell their story to a newspaper back in the city. Emo Man and Pigtails want to leave the island immediately, but Karma and Alicia argue that they have to pick up Greg and Cynthia at the rave site. Rudy agrees, and they head out into the forest again. While walking, Alicia snidely disses Pigtails for being Rudy's date at the rave. Rudy fires back that her date Simon is hardly an intellectual. It's clear that there's still a lot of unresolved tension between the two because of their recent breakup. The group reaches the rave site and finds Greg trapped inside a porta potty that had fallen over. They release him, and he recounts that he was inside the porta potty when he suddenly heard screams, and then the porta potty fell over, causing him to be trapped. One by one, the zombies swim to the captain's boat. He shoots them with his gun. However, Cynthia has disappeared. They begin to call for her, but she has been bitten and is now a zombie. She runs and snaps Emo Man's neck before being shot to death by the officer. The officer tries to contact her colleague who she left on the boat, but he's not replying anymore. Alicia informs the officer about the captain's boat waiting for them. She agrees not to arrest the captain until they are safe. They make their way through the forest. Alicia bursts into tears and mourns the death of her friend Cynthia. Rudy comforts her with his muscles. They reach a wooden bridge over a bubbling hot spring. While crossing the bridge, a zombie reaches through the wooden panels and almost grabs Rudy. Fortunately, the officer kills the zombie. They run the rest of the way to the shore. They see the boat, but there are zombies all over the deck. Simon doesn't see them, and he hurriedly jumps from the dock and swims to the boat. The zombies chase him in the water. He frantically changes direction and swims back to the dock. The officer helps him by shooting at the zombies, but one of them slips past her bullets and drags him down. The officer finally shoots the zombie, and Simon is free to swim again. Pigtails wades into the water with a dagger so she can help Simon, but a zombie grabs her and holds her underwater, drowning her lungs. The captain, who is now on the island, shoots the zombie, but another zombie appears and bites him in the arm before he can kill him. Simon and Pigtails make it to shore safely, but one of the zombies spits on Simon's face and burns it like it was acid. The officer decides to go to where she left her boat down the beach. She takes Greg with her. Meanwhile, the captain shares the story behind the Island of Death. Centuries ago, a Spanish priest was banished because of his horrifying and unethical human experiments. He was chained and taken on a ship that would carry him to where he would be living in exile. But the priest managed to choke the captain to death with his chains. He then killed the entire crew of the ship and conquered the island by killing the natives as well. The legend says that the priest has been on the island ever since, and he kills anyone who dares to trespass on it. Greg and the officer encounter zombies. She orders him to run while she shoots them, but a few zombies chase after him. He hides behind a large tree, and the zombies run past him. He thinks it's finally safe, so he comes out, but a zombie attacks and kills him. A mysterious hooded figure with an unnaturally pale and scarred face watches. Meanwhile, the officer discovers that her boat is destroyed and her colleague is gone, presumably killed by the zombies too. She also finds the gun that Greg left behind. Pigtails suggests that they go back to the house and take shelter there until help arrives. Simon points out that they don't have any weapons to use to defend themselves. The captain interjects and shows them the contraband items he's been hiding. The box is filled with Cuban cigars and several guns. The officer returns and informs them that they currently have no way off the island and Gray is gone. She adds that they should stay at the house and wait there because the Coast Guard will notice that she has disappeared and will come looking for her eventually. They each arm themselves with guns and other weapons. Upon arriving at the graveyard in front of the house, the group encounters a large horde of zombies. They all shoot the zombies with their guns and slaughter them one by one. But no matter how many they take down, the zombies just keep coming. They reach the door to the house, but it's now locked. They can't open it by force, or else they won't be able to lock it against the zombies. Several zombies catch up to Pigtails and feast on her piggy body. Rudy can't do anything but just stare as she is devoured. Another zombie attacks the officer, but Rudy saves her. He also finds a window that leads inside the house. He struggles to pry the wooden boards covering the window. Rudy finally climbs inside, but the zombies grab the officer and bite her. He manages to pull her inside, but she succumbs to her injuries. The rest of the group run out of ammo, except for their useless hormone bullets. The captain pulls out his sword and uses it to hack at the zombies. Rudy runs to the living room and opens the door, but it's too late for the captain because several zombies are now gnawing at his leg. They place the wounded captain on the table to treat his wounds. Karma comforts Simon, who is angry because he's now disfigured. He is a famous underwear model, and he won't be able to do that anymore with his scared face. The two then share a tongue massage on the lips, but skip the scared face. It finally quiets down outside, and Alicia and Rudy notice that the zombies are dragging the corpses of their friends into the forest. Alicia notices the officer's dead body. She asks Rudy what happened, and he confesses that he's angry at himself for not being able to save the officer. The life or death situation causes the two ex-lovers to kiss and rekindle their hormonity. Meanwhile, the captain takes a turn for the worse. Alicia finds the Spanish ship's journal. The log affirms the legend that the captain told them. The group explores the house and discovers a laboratory used by the priest. Inside are various equipment and chemicals, with one desiccated body lying on an operating table. There are also various human body parts scattered around the laboratory. It becomes clear that the priest continued his horrific experiments on the island and is the one responsible for the creation of the zombies. The captain hears his first mate whistling outside the house. He slowly crawls outside and sees that his first mate has now turned into a zombie. He utters that he doesn't want his friend to suffer such a ghoulish fate. He lights up a stick of dynamite and blows him and the first mate up along with a bunch of zombies. Unfortunately, the explosion also destroys the front door. The remaining survivors hide inside the laboratory. They discover barrels of gunpowder inside the adjoining room, but it's useless because someone needs to be inside the room to make the gunpowder explode and kill the zombies. They go to the laboratory, and Alicia finds a glass aquarium filled with a glowing red liquid. A small slimy creature is slinking around inside. Karma walks in and is taken aback by the monstrous appearance of the creature. Out of shock, she shoots at the glass aquarium. The glass breaks, and the liquid pours out and touches the bodies inside the laboratory. It turns out, this liquid is a blood serum that reanimates the dead bodies. The attacking zombies force the group back into the adjoining room. They pile up wooden barrels to barricade the door, but the zombies are already breaking it down. Karma discovers a cellar hatch leading to a tunnel underground. Alicia and Ruby go down after her, but Simon chooses to sacrifice himself, and he triggers a gunpowder explosion to take the zombies down with him. They walk through the tunnel and face several zombies. However, Rudy runs out of bullets, except for his hormone ones. So Karma takes over. She fights all the zombies but gets killed by them, leaving Rudy and Alicia as the survivors. Greg appears again and kills the remaining zombie. He leads them through the tunnels and into a chamber filled with skeletons. Greg doesn't say anything. Rudy discovers a corpse hanging from the ceiling and realizes that it's the body of the real Greg, whose face has been cut off. It turns out the hooded figure is actually the priest, who took off Greg's face and wore it so he could pretend to be Greg and lure Alicia and Ruby back to his chamber. Several zombies come in to capture Rudy and Alicia. The priest announces his plan to use their body parts and flesh for his final experiments. Luckily, Rudy fends off the zombies. This distracts the priest and allows Alicia to break free too. The two of them escape the tunnels and blow the chamber up with a grenade. However, the priest survives the explosion. He fights Rudy, and Rudy goes down. Alicia steps in with a sword and combats the priest together with her two hormone mountains. A few moments later, he stabs her in her mountains with a sword, ending her mountainous life. Rudy gets up and grabs his axe. He decapitates the unsuspecting priest with it, but his headless body is still moving, and he reaches for Rudy. Alicia musters her strength and crushes the priest's decapitated head into mashed potato, finally killing him for good. Rudy cradles the dying Alicia in his arms, but sometime later, authorities rescue the two of them with a helicopter. Alicia appears to survive, with her two mountains undamaged. In a voiceover, Rudy explains that he used the blood serum of the priest to revive Alicia. The movie ends with Rudy wondering whether he has created a monster. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.